Greetings. Kind of taking a little moment here just to make sure that the video is actually started. I'm coming to you today I'm actually in Florida, but pretty soon I'm going to be in Ohio. I'm excited about this. I called this is your foundation in need of attention? And really what I wanted to do was have a chance to say hi and talk to you all a little bit about this class, which is kind of, for some people it's their first class after the bars. For others, it's I want to renew my bars facilitator. For others, it's I have these changes that I want to create in my life and I'm not sure where to start. And I guess what I'd really like to start with is something that is shared pretty widely in Access, which is if it's not ease, joy, and glory, it's not yours. If it's not ease, joy, and glory, it's not yours. So if you have something going on in your world that isn't creating expansiveness and joy, maybe ask a question. Is this mine? Who or what does this belong to? And that's a gem. I really have noticed that as someone who facilitates the foundation class, that every time I facilitate it, I'm also getting facilitated by it. And these tools I've been working with for years now. My first foundation that I attended was the Global Foundation in 2020, and I became a CF in 2022. And since then, I think I've done 14 or 15 foundation classes. I've facilitated them, and I've attended another 6 or 7. I love this class. Why do I love this class? It is an opportunity to remind yourself of the things you already know, but then also to take a look at some new things. Every year, Gary and Dane read through the manual and say, okay, take this out, put this in. So it's constantly refreshing. So even if you've taken a foundation years and years ago, it's different. It's different if the facilitator is different. It's different if you're different, you've changed and grown in the time. But everyone who asks me, well, I should be doing advanced classes, or shouldn't I do this, or shouldn't I do that? You should always ask yourself that question. What actually is going to create for me in my life here? That's one of my favorite things to share with people. We talk about being an adult of consciousness and what does it mean to be an adult of consciousness and to really step up. And to me, one of the things that being an adult of consciousness is this willingness to show up and say, does this create greater? Yes or no? Is it lighter? Is it heavy? It's one of our first tools in Access and one that I use every day. It's totally a thing. Every day I use light and heavy. Every day I use asking a question. And most day, I actually don't think I go a day without using the tools that are in the foundation. Even just as simple as, something's weird and I'm like, one of my favorites, what is it? What can I do with it? Can I change it? If so, how can I change it? And the cool thing about the foundation as a class is there's so many self-help or, realization things you can do out there. One of the things with those that comes up is that they'll give you the tools and then send you home. Or you'll be a part of this healing processing group and all you're doing is processing the things that have already happened. And there's one other piece. Oh, and then you can learn a technique. So the foundation, there are 2 new body processes that you get to not only learn but practice. There are gifted ESCs and ESBs from Dr. Dane. He actually just included The Earth is Speaking, Are You Listening?, which he shared with everybody who is at Global Foundation. So that's currently a part of the foundation that you would attend. And all of these pieces, oh my gosh, and then there's the manual, the 80+ page manual with tools on every page that you can use. So what I see it as, it's people show up, some of it's looking at what's in the manual, some of it's just facilitating what's been coming up for you before class, People ask questions, then we look at the tools, we use the skills, and then we process them, and then we do the body process, which allow the body to start to transform itself. And the whole time you can choose to swap bars with people if you want. Like, there's so much that a class becomes, but it becomes that because you choose it and because you show up. So if you go, it's like whatever you bring, you'll be able to take a look at, and everything we're willing to look at, we're able to change. There's kind of a cool aspect of it too. That's just the way consciousness works. It's not like something super special. It's like you have something in your life that you would like to be different. Take a look at it. Look at what you can change. So, what else? There were a couple other things I wanted to share. Let's see if I can recall what those were. I have upcoming foundations. One of them is Dillonvale. In just 2 weeks, I think we're going to start on it's Father's Day weekend, and so we start on the 13th in Dillonvale, Ohio. That's close to the border, probably about 45 minutes from Pittsburgh. And we've got a nice group coming together for that. I'm really excited to be able to show up there and play with all of you beings. I don't know if you've ever met me before. Some of you have, some of you haven't. I lived in Cleveland for a while, and that's where my husband and I, we met actually at an access class, but we lived together in Cleveland area before we've moved. And at the moment we are in Florida, enjoying the lovely summer and the beach. So let's see. Yeah, so we're coming back up. He'll probably be hanging out with his family, or he might come to class, who knows. But there is like I said, there's a nice group coming together. And like I said, there's this beautiful alchemy that happens. You know, alchemy is the merging of elements and having something totally different arise. So all of these elements are coming together of different people from all different places. Some are coming in, traveling in, and we're all going to have questions, and we're all going to have awarenesses. And even when someone else is receiving facilitation means to make ease. So it's like, I'm having this problem with this relationship. What do I do here? And then we go through and we can take a look at what the tools that Access has that apply to that. We can look at it from different points of view. And what is really the most amazing part is, like, things can actually start to change right then and there. You don't have to go home and then start all over again with the practice. But what you might find is that you do start to take a look at, what am I choosing here? Would I like to choose something different? So anything you are willing to take a look at, you are able to change, whether that's money, whether that's relationships, whether that's friendships, whether that's just not quite feeling satisfied about something and knowing that there's another possibility out there. Everything you're willing to look at. I can't even repeat that anymore. So that's why I call this something about, like, is your foundation in need of attention? Is, when was the last time you looked at it and said, is this really what I'd like my life to look like? So I am cordially inviting you, and if you know anybody else who'd be interested, let me know. I know that Carol Borkowski, who's the hostess with the mostest for this event, she is going to have a bars class the weekend before. Bars is a requirement. You've got to have taken a class in order to attend. If you've taken a foundation within the last 24 months, you are eligible for repeat pricing. 16 and 17-year-olds are half price. Kids are able to come for free, and no, they don't have to be totally attentive the entire time. It's kind of one of those things that they absorb it faster than we do. It's amazing. I love having kids in my foundations. It's so much fun. So that's just a little bit about, like, what the foundation is and where you can go with it, where you can start to go with it. But I've had fascinating conversations over the years where sometimes we go in like one direction, sometimes we go in another, but again, it's always based on where people are looking to create in their lives. I remember one foundation, we had an extensive conversation about the arts and how to incorporate the arts in our lives based on, the tools is like the person had asked something about, and I have permission to share this. The person had asked something about incorporating more creativity and feeling like that gave her more life and more of herself. So we're like, cool. So how do we incorporate that? And it's like, whoa, like what amazing things even just asking questions can open up for people is phenomenal. So that's a whole lot of stuff about the foundation. And like I said, like sometimes people come to this because it's a prerequisite for something else that they'd like to choose. Sometimes they come to it because they're a facilitator who, has to check a box of having taken a class to keep their license. But it's never really about that. It's about choice. And what choice would you like to make for your life? Is now the time that choosing a foundation would create greater for you in your world? And if so, please, we would love to have you. And if that weekend doesn't work, you're always welcome to come down to Florida, just outside of Pensacola. I'll be doing a foundation down there the 4th of July weekend. So, what else is possible now, and what else is possible for you in your life? And really, truly, I'm asking that. I hope that whatever you choose, it creates greater, and it creates greater for. If it creates greater for you, it's also creating greater for the whole. So that's creating greater for me. So thank you. All right, y'all. Nice to see you. And feel free to ask if you have any questions. I am here. I'm happy to share a little bit more. And I'll tag Carol in this too. You are welcome to reach out to her if you're wondering what the setup's going to be like or what it's going to look like. And yeah, see you soon.